I looked long and hard at this game. Newcastle versus Crystal Palace. Newcastle still big plus money, plus 140. Palace at plus 195. I think Palace match up great. I think Newcastle match up great for Palace. I think minus 160 for double chance on Palace. Total under over 2.5. I wouldn't be rushing for either of them. The draw is at plus 230. Mark Stinchcombe, Stinch, you can go first. Newcastle absolutely flying, finding results whenever they play at home. And Palace have gone off the disappointment on the result at Wembley in the semi-final, but their performance was far better.
Yeah, I just think the loss of Conor Gallagher was one of the reasons maybe they couldn't quite get over the line against Chelsea. Ruben Loftus-Cheek scored a really good goal, and it's just Palace don't have that kind of quality that you can bring on. I know Loftus-Cheek has not been consistently good, but it's just is a very good comparison. Similar age, English centre midfielders. I just think that loss of Gallagher didn't allow them to maybe impose himself a bit more in the game. Didn't really create like a huge opportunity from open play. So I'm a bit concerned of them now for the rest of the season, really, whether the sort of win's going to be knocked out of their sail. They're safe from relegation, which is kind of unheard of territory for them at this stage of the season in the Premier League. Remember, under Hodgson, the last 3-4 seasons, normally sort of still in that relegation fight a little bit. So I'm a bit concerned regarding Palace's, motivation and maybe sort of overall happiness really after being knocked out of the semi-final against a Chelsea team, as we sort of already mentioned, that are a little bit vulnerable. But I know Newcastle have chalked up these good results, but there's no way I can back them as favourites in my opinion. I don't want to be with them just because I don't want to rely on sort of Chris Wood to try and get me the goals. If Callum Wilson was available, then I probably might be able to convince myself to get involved with Newcastle. Maybe Newcastle on the team total at plus 165, if that was the case, if Trippier was available as well. But it's just a game I don't really want to go near because I don't really want to side with Palace because I'm not sure what sort of place they are in mentally. And I really don't want to back Newcastle as favourites when they're missing some of their better players.
Yeah, Marco here. I like Palace on the break here. I think that Palace I think plus 230 is good value on the draw, but also Palace draw no bet is quite good as well. Or are you just going to continue on that Newcastle train?
No, I'm not because I think beating Leicester pretty much, they're not mathematically safe, but they're pretty much safe now. We questioned whether they were, but I think they definitely are now. And from a Palace perspective, you just don't know how the sort of knock-on effects of Sunday will be for them after the disappointment. They chucked in a bit of a wobbly before the FA Cup game. We sort of blamed it down to their eyes being on that prize, whereas now without that distraction, I guess they can play with a bit more freedom. But just enough doubts really to sort of leave them alone. I was pro Newcastle before the Newcastle game. Their home form has been great. They've only lost 4 games at St James's all season. And Eddie Howe's been, I scoffed really, but he's been fantastic since his appointment in early November. They rank 8th in the Premier League. Their home record, 6 wins, 4 draws, just the 1 defeat. Of the 13 goals they've conceded, 4 were in his first game. 3 were in his first game and 4 were against Man City in his second home game. So, they're going really well. They've only failed to score against Man City and Chelsea at home this season. And what I just found this absolutely staggering, really. I looked at the league table before this. Newcastle and Crystal Palace are now level on points. So for all the plaudits that Patrick Vieira's been getting at Crystal Palace for the job he's done this season, Eddie Howe deserves them and probably some more because of the position he took charge of Newcastle in. So, I'm still pro Newcastle, but not necessarily in this match. I wouldn't be pro Palace either, so I'm very much kind of in the draw camp because there's not much else to choose here. It's one of those games I'm quite happy to leave alone because just doubts over both teams. And Palace have still only won 3 away games from Selhurst Park. They've only won 8 Premier League games all season. Reasonably quick turnaround since Sunday. I presume they're pretty despondent about the result. So, just an easy leave really. But if I had to, I'd be on the draw.
Yeah, I do believe the draw is probably the way to go. But I just wrote down like a 0-1, maybe 0-2, Palace get something just because they've got them players that want to play on the break. Let's have a little look at the official picks because I know that I am on my own and I've just gone with Palace. Draw no bet at +110, but I wouldn't put anyone off of that draw. That's why I put draw no bet, because I do think that maybe 6 out of 10 times it's going to end up a draw. But if Palace do get that, I don't know, 81st minute winner, or I just feel as if they've got the players to actually hurt Newcastle. Other than that, I think it's the game's stinking. Okay.